Judges right here who's going to hold up a score from 0 to 10 based on how awesome they thought it was. They're going to include decimal points. The highest score of that poet's performance will be dropped. The lowest score will be dropped. We're going to add those three middle scores, and that will be that poet's score for that round. And then we will move on and kind of do like an elimination style poets will advance until we get to the final round. But super exciting. Y'all excited? I'm excited. Y'all excited? Let's go. Feel free to feed the poet during their poem, you know what I mean? So just bring in a little snack, just a little, just a little something, You got to go too crazy, right? Because they trying to perform, but don't feel limited in your expression and how they move you, all right? One last thing I'll say before we introduce our sacrificial poet. If there's a score that you really like, that you're like, yeah, I agree with that score. Let's say they get a 10. How are we going to respond if there's a 10 that goes? All right. And for example, 6.8. All right. So, judges, don't be influenced by the audience. Do your job. That's fine. You keep the energy. And they have a job. We all have a job, but this is a culture in the community, and it'll just be fun, all right? We don't have security guards on the way out, so that's a joke. That's a joke. Let's clap it up for the judges, everybody. Clap it up for the judges.
And for the last time of the evening, a human being says to me, it's better to find out they're crazy now than later. You really dodged the bullet. Why aren't you smiling? You see, those words always land with an echo being dragged. I can hear the chains rustling. I speak back to this person and say, I just need time to mourn its memory, and I'll be okay. I take my leave with my thoughts in tow. A date with a concrete moonlit path above our diamonds sprinkled across a black sea, and like a movie screen, it reflects all the bullets I've ever dodged to this point. My knees capped under the weight of those memories, and I break yet again. You see, I just want the pain to stop. The morning star sits on my left shoulder. He whispers in my ear. He says, you're lucky you dodged the bullet. Now it's time to take aim at every bullet that's ever been aimed at you. And I say, no. Most people don't know that they're bullets. They're too busy at the end of a bar hammering down shots, hoping not to get fired on a Friday. Some be out back snorting gunpowder because they think it helps them aim higher. Others roll blunts and take shotguns to their head and smile because the smoke helps them see another day. Why take aim for a bullet when the devil can always find another trigger to pull? And he says to me, stupid child, how many bullets does it take before you start shooting back? When will you be a man? And I speak. I heard a cartoon named Isaac once say, revenge is for children, and we have a duty to grow up. Coming from a childhood where gun sounds overseas in the background of life's soundtrack, I know the consequences of not being an adult when it counts, even when you're still just a child. And for every bullet that's ever been aimed at me, there are 10 civilians who would vouch for me by covering for my character. See, Lucifer, you just want to see more shooters. I want less bullets in the world. So please, give me my time to mourn its memory. That's all I need, and I'll be okay. And as the smell of brimstone fades, the glow of a halo descends and blinds me and begins speaking. Child, we gave you every red flag that you needed. Why did you not move out the way? And then I speak. It's hard for a battered heart to tell which flags are red. But in truth, it was the most perfect bullet I'd ever seen. It was like a fae in flight. I was a deer in headlights. Forgot that I was a target, still nursing old wounds. When it whizzed by, I saw it held on for dear life to a past that it was trying to outrun. And maybe if someone cared hard enough about it, that good energy can help open its grip. You see, there was a beauty there that I could only feel. But the burns from where it grazed my wrist are still warmer than a cold life lived. Stupid child. Was it truly a graze? Because I can still hear your soul screaming. And had I waited one heartbeat more, your heart would be beating no more. Yet here you stand, mourning the memory of what could have been your last memory when you should be so what? If I dodge yet another bullet, I've dodged more bullets than Keanu Reeves. There will always be more bullets tomorrow, but I will never see another bullet as beautiful or as perfect as that one. I knew the danger the moment I saw Cupid using a rifle, but my heart came out of its coma screaming that it was worth the risk, and now I'm confused because I'm badly missing someone that I never want to see again. And that may be nothing more than a hollow point to you, but give me my time to mourn its memory, because I still haven't shed enough tears to wash out the self-portraits that it left behind.
Put your hands together for our first poet of the evening officially. Please put your hands together for Ray Jimenez. It's coming up for Ray.
In 2016, a gay couple was denied service by a baker. The reason she refused to make the couple a wedding cake was religious freedom of expression. The following poem is inspired by those events. Let's be clear! I only bake straight wedding cakes. God-fearing, church-going wedding cakes with the righteous with frosting and a creamy middle that tastes like salvation. My wedding cakes slide on the throats of God's children like a holy baptism will come out the other end without sin. My wedding cakes shout Merry Christmas from the rooftops, not Happy Holidays. My wedding cakes pay taxes like a tithe of the freeloaders live off of. My wedding cakes didn't experiment with sex and drugs in college. They only smoke the word of God and only do the missionary position. My wedding cakes can hear Satan when you place their head heaven backwards and you try and fool him. My wedding cakes don't pair well with divorce. Even if he uses knuckles in lieu of periods, even if the romance is there to love on a windshield. My wedding cakes no true love comes between a man and a woman. Not a woman and a woman. Not a man and a man. Not a man born inside of a woman inside of a man. My wedding cakes know how to use the right bathroom. My Lord tells me there's only one type of wedding cake and I shall have no other wedding cakes before me. My wedding cakes are going to make America great again. My wedding cakes soldier in the front lines of the war against religious persecution. My wedding cakes will bring peace in the Middle East like a marzipan army puts it across the desert. My wedding cakes know how to use icing in separate but equal quantities. My wedding cakes graciously allow for chocolate, even though vanilla is more deserving and worked harder for it. My wedding cakes don't give a fig about Supreme Court rulings. My wedding cakes are made from colors that don't run. My wedding cakes aren't Muslim, Hindu, atheists, or any other religious fanatics. My wedding cakes are the foundations of marriage, the gatekeepers of morality, keeping us from slipping down that slick slide that is the fudge of our society. My wedding cakes are made, they're born. Now began to any comfortable practice in abomination, drive out your heart and souls, rock their cords with your insipid logic. I shall have my cakes and eat them too if need be. Board myself on a farm and cross, twist my intestines and I spill milk. I'll bear down babies like the good Lord intended in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Now tell me, ladies, what kind of wedding cake y'all looking for?
A 12-step survival guide for introverts. 1. Do not be ashamed of your silence. Speak only when necessary and your words will carry their own weight. This only makes your voice stronger. 2. Do not let being alone make you feel lonely. Use the extra time to unwrap your middle name like the last box of dishes from your mother's kitchen. Learn to love the mirror for its gentle insistence that your skin carries light like a postal worker. You are here to deliver something. To the man who asks why I still hold my son's hand, I don't do it every day. I don't even get to see him every day. The moment you become a parent, you begin counting down to the letting go. My ribs are an abacus measured in beats of his heart and the number of moments we have left that he'll want to be this close to me. But in the time we are studying the philosophy of clocks. When first built, clocks were given hands as their instrument of time. I believe this is the clock builder's way of reminding us to hold on, because time is a stampede of horses running straight at the cliff's edge, but the people we love are the parachutes we take with us. So when the road runs out beneath us, we do not fall. The cannonball off that sucker, listen, there's not much of it. So time is the greatest gift a man can give to his kids. My father gave me 3 gifts. A little red wagon he gave me for Christmas, a hand-stamped leather wallet he made for me in prison, and the hole in that wallet where whatever currency he hoped his memory would become fell out. No matter how poor I have been or become, I will never be my son's empty wallet. All I can give him are palm prints whispered into his hands and memories of crossing the streets he will know. I was there between him and the trucks, pretending to pull the sun out from behind the moon's ear and put it in his pocket. My son still believes my hands can do magic, but I'll leave the escape acts for runaway dads. Those Houdini cowards whose families have been left holding the chains on their absence. I am not gifted with wombs.
do not lead sacred or know the secret name of the song that is sung when a child's first breath is taken inside of his mother. I cannot swim in that ocean, so this is as close to creation as I will ever come, but every time I hold my son's hand, I can feel God's heart beating. Why do I still hold his hand? Because he still wants me to. And listen, if we're telling the truth, aren't you really only offended because you're worried that me holding his hand too long will cause him to seek affection from other men? To the homophobe who's overly concerned that me holding my son's hand past a certain age will cause him to grow up gay. Fuck you. If my son grows up to kiss sunlight from another man's lips, then by God, I will walk him down the aisle, and if he'll let me, I will hold his hand all the way to the altar. Listen, I have a theory. There is one secret that love shares with the math of the universe. It's the subtraction in the equation that causes the problem to exist in the first place. This is true for a man and his kids as well, so as long as he is reaching out, I will take nothing away from my son, especially these hands.
Let's go, Paul!
That was Zachary Clumpton, everybody.
Have you ever seen a coke run? Chopped up on plates, same one you ate from. Never seen Pop sniff it, but I always saw him serving the dope fiends. One sniff make them feel so clean. 2 oxys and codeine, come back every day for a fix. While Pop's gone, man at the back door throwing fits. I asked my Pops for a BB gun at the age of 10, just in case bad guys come. At that age, those stars shouldn't have been on my brain. Have you ever seen a coke line? I begged Daddy to stop using the plates I ate from. I hated the thought of mixing my food with a pinch of crack. Right hook to a girl that stole from Daddy, now she won't come back. Have you ever seen a coke line? Well, I had believed white as the snow, same color as Steve. Daddy said he would stop times I would plead, but the cash he gotta make, it's what we need. I think about how Winnie died from using crack. R.P. to DMX cause he never coming back. I prayed my daddy wouldn't be the cause of an overdose. Next day, sending Sunday church line, like you beg to get the Holy Ghost. Have you ever seen a coke line? With a belt say next in Percocet. I thought about taking one once. I'm surprised that I haven't yet. Have you ever seen a coke line? If you have, you're probably traumatized. I saw many in my dreams that he never tried to hide. He told me, so he never tell a soul. And my friends ask me about it often. His daddy always had on gold. But my father told me, without the lines on my plates, same plates I wouldn't eat. So whenever people ask, I promise I would never speak. What does he do for a living? Oh, he be out fixing the streets. Have you ever seen a coke line? No, you don't have to raise your hand. Just know my father fought for me to eat. Maybe you could understand. P.S. I know you did what you had to do. You made a way for me until your last breath. So it's all right with you. Just that is such a powerful word. I mean, mommy, like, it's I mean, it's sweet, but it's soft. Mom, it's cool, like, basic, you know. But, mama.
There's a thin line. There's a thin line between in and sane. One love stretches from here to here. Don't put me into a corner. That's when there's four walls here on inside. Reality? Who's kidding who? What's what? Reality? It's an algorithm. 1 and 0 and 1 and 0 and fight and flight and fight or flight. But really, don't have a baby in your head worrying about it. What's eating me alive and making a living? I live with it. I get a cruise vacation. I go back and forth and back and forth. There's no quiet quitting. One of these days I'm going to go and I'm going to keep on going forever. I'm going to walk through walls. I'm going to walk through time. I'm going to shed my skin and go to speed of light. One of these days, whatever you do, don't go to the zoo. Saddest part about the Florida panther ain't the path that meanders in the concrete. No, it's the paw, the fat, grimy paw. The way it goes flop, flop, flop. There's nowhere to go anymore. There's nowhere to go looking in a strip mall shopping parking lot. Try to handle it. That's the extinct. The dinosaurs, for instance, we ate their eggs. Us! We climbed out of the trees at night with our grubby little hands, our beady little eyes, our sharp little teeth. We saw some rocket. We went right into those trees. Right into those trees. I still like eggs. Scrambled, over easy, sunny side up, staring at me. Disney World. Oh boy, remember? Disney World. Happiest place on earth. Registered trademark. You stand in line for hours to watch holograms having fun. You're in a tour boat floating along a fake lagoon. All of a sudden, woo! Fake explosion, woo! Whoosh! Fake bags of water. Then the herky-jerky swashbucklings of Captain Hook and his AI laughter. Even Peter Pan's going through the motions. Even Peter Pan doing the fuck, Peter Pan! And everybody laughs and claps anyways. He just rides around the bend. Woo! Woo! Whoosh! Every day. For years on that. My mother got stuck in a ride. It's a small world after all. Wherever you go, through the years we'll all be there. 1 billion of us, wherever you go. One nerve. Put it down over here. Put it down over here. See what I mean? There's a thin line. Whatever you do, don't go to the zoo. Saddest part about the panther. Don't look in their eyes. Don't look in their eyes. Don't look in their eyes.
Thanksgiving is by far my favorite holiday simply because my granny's sweet potato pie is the best sweet potato pie in the world. Don't believe me? Listen, my granny's pie got the mothers of the church running up to me when I'm working the annual bake sale, and they're like, oh, excuse me, Weston. Boy, which one of these pies did your granny bake? Huh? Which one? Oh, hush up, boy, I can smell it. Ooh, it's the one with the smile seeping through the scent of the cinnamon in this pie. It's great migration testing. Moved from a shotgun shack in Mississippi to an apartment on the south side of Chicago, and my auntie Emma, the matriarch, could literally hear Sam Cooke and his siblings playing upstairs. This pie has found itself sweating over Emmett Till's swollen body. The funeral was an unfriendly reminder to my Uncle Nip why he says, boy, I ain't never going back down south. This pie is low-end Chicago made. Phillips High School, 7 brothers and 3 sisters old. Oh, this pie is too fly. She was looking real regal when she was stepping out to the show this pie be a teenage mother in the 50s. Defying gravity. This pie became a bosom matriarch. This pie is a head of a clan, a tribe of college graduates, and dope heads. Damn, this pie must be good, must be perfect in the eyes of the Lord. I've seen this pie bury her sister, seen this pie bury her brother, seen this pie put her husband in the ground. Guess what? She still didn't cry. Oh, this pie must be immune to tears. This pie make me want to make my granny so proud. Had me taking trips when I knew I didn't, and I just want to make this pie
so proud, and be worthy of every white.
Recipe for a human stampede. 1.5 pounds of metal forged into handgun. 9 bullets sprayed inside an airport. 1 cop yells run, and a parade of people stuff themselves with panic. No time to measure distance. A mad dash is enough to know how this pans out. You sprint, you spread, you avoid the grease pop of a hot pistol. No preheat, we've been prepped. These meals served so often, we microwave them away. Make them common cuisine on news channels. Mass shootings are served more in America than any other country. Almost had my unhealthy helping. After deporting
For the black athletes that don't go pro. Okay, you didn't make the league. The ocean is said to be 20,000 leagues wide. That's 19,999 other ways to be an all-star. And maybe being a North Star is just as important. Something a little dipper can look up to for guidance, but after not becoming a track star, the quickest kid in my high school overdosed, became stardust instead, racing asteroids across the heavens, and if you peered into the glorious black night, you too might think all our constellations were athletes. Stardom, the only way we'll be named, this world, showing our dark reflections solely in highlights or black holes, leaving me to wish more options upon those whose skin resembles the night and dawn, rising with the belief there exists no other ways to shine, though success in ever-expanding universe representation always been a mere flicker. Show me the Big Dipper as a collection of black fathers, Orion's championship belt, a ring of coaches, teachers, engineers. There are so many ways to burn brightly. But after watching his track dreams fall to earth, Mike thought himself a comet. Just space rock, speeding toward what he at most feared, being a brief burst of light, but he was a whole planet in our eyes, and I've seen too many worlds dimmer because they fail to see their own shine outside of a stadium. So they take crack rockets to reach the stars they hope to become. They found Mike, spaced out, a fallen star that was shooting up, landed in his grave, left craters in our heart, and we wished upon his body the suns to find healthier ways to rise. By the end of this poem, over 1,000 stars will have died, like dreams exploding into supernovas 10 per second. So I searched the skies for loved ones looking burnt out, because I know some stardom chasers who had dreams of being astronomical, but now gravitate toward the same high that killed Mike. Athletes, actors, and slam poets who fear failure orbits their future and try escaping one Milky Way or another. So, for the black athletes that don't go pro, please, keep going. You more cosmos than superstar. No one can tell the scope of your reach, even when it's not how you planned it. You like of ever-growing galaxies who swallow the oceans with 1,000,000 times over, meaning your world may change and change and change, but you will still have so much light left to discover.
Ever since I bubbled in black and non-Hispanic, I made all my teachers panic. In search for my history, all that they can tell me is that I'm from somewhere from across the Atlantic, and I'm married. See, I'm African American. Now let's not complicate things, people. It's simple. It only means that I'm an American that resembles an African, an alien in the only place I ever call home. History, unknown. Culture, made up of rhetorical justice and stereotypes like, you're black, right? That means you're the watermelon spitting seed type, the Kool-Aid KFC type, the 2 baby mamas in your latest late 3 weeks type. You know what they say about all us brothers, we hung down to the knees, right? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Heart disease type, pants sagging, color flagging, gold teeth type, old police car driving, rims spinning on 23s type. See, either you're rapping or you're hooping or you run the streets type, using excuses like, hey, I gotta feed my family, right? But if it wasn't for child support, your family wouldn't eat type. Flip a coin. Here's your dead tails penitentiary type. Can't fill out no application because of your felonies, but you want the money. the money and the cars and the clothes and the HOE type. See me, I'm none of the above, circle D type. At some point, I decided to stop searching for help. Placed all my history books back on the shelf and started to define self for myself because I must be more than just a color. I refuse to believe that every black man that I see is truly my brother. I refuse to continue pointing fingers at the white man when it was first Africans who enslaved each other, sold us over for rum, tobacco, weapons, etc., etc. Assalamu alaikum, brother. But you want me to believe that every black woman is an H and B, but not your mother. What's next? Am I supposed to believe it was the KKK who killed Malcolm X? Antoine Dotson said it best. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. They hating on everybody out here. In fact, they hate you down to your tires if you're having a good year. I am a crossbreed between L. Malik Shabazz and Dr. King. I had a dream placing X behind my name. To join the truth is my backbone. Harriet Tubman runs through my veins. Tupac is still alive in my heart. Bob Marley falls from my scalp. Rosa Parks sits up front upon my shoulders. Maya Angelou is my ink. Langston Hughes is my voice. Jazz is my attitude as my soul sings the blues. I've served alongside of Tucson, re-enlisted under Nat Turner, taking cruises upon the Amistad, painted the Harlem Renaissance. I'm a student of W.E.B. Carter G. Booker T. Graduated with honors. Didn't take all the girls to blow up for me to man up. Didn't take Rosa Parks to sit down for me to stand up. And it damn sure to take a king to dream for me to wake up.
I want to read the Bible. But at the same time, I don't want to be responsible for what I used to not know. Chapter after chapter, verse after verse constantly tells me what I must let go, and I want to go to heaven. But the price seemed too steep. Not really, technically it's within my reach. I just have a problem with saving. Ironically, I claimed I'm saved. I just hope that the 10% that I paid has gained enough interest that I can erase away these mistakes that I purposely make with the mind state that Jesus loves me. Yeah, I know I'm holding Jesus hostage for my sins. Forgive me, God, and then I let him go. See, I really want to walk with you, oh Lord, but I gained all the riches in the world and lost both my souls. See, I really want to read the Bible. Not to get closer to you, O Lord, but to defend myself from these scripture-breathing church folk who know the Bible more than they know their purpose. In fact, they in the pulpits preaching, not because they were called, see, they just doing it on purpose, with the purpose to make you feel guilty enough to dig deeper into your purses so that they can purchase a new car, house, or suit. Pastor, why is it that the windows of heaven are open but only pouring down blessings upon you? See, I really want to read the Bible, not to get my breakthrough, but to figure out how this was used as a tool to enslave so many people. War after war, few using Jesus' parables. Too many verses are highlighted in blood, baptized in tears. There isn't enough olive oil in the world that can undo what Christians have done and will do. See, the Bible is a weapon and tool, depending on the context in which it is used. Because see, the devil quotes the Bible too. But hey, I want to read the Bible. In fact, I want to go to church too, but the same people who welcome you will fight you for their spot on the pew. Tell you to come as you are, but then won't speak to you because you don't have on a tie or a suit. In fact, I dare you all to sneeze. I bet they won't even bless you. But these are the same people we supposed to run to for prayer. But judging from the way you act, I doubt I need you speaking on my behalf. And quite honestly, I don't know which God you pray to, so no thank you. I want to read the Bible.
Not to get right and do what I'm supposed to, but the truth is, I'm probably going to still do what I want to. I figured I'd read the Bible with a biased idea, only following that of which I agree with. We all do it. Don't act like it's a secret. The Bible states that if you lust with your eyes, it's better for you to take your eyes out than allow your whole body to burn in hell. Hell, we don't see any celibate cyclops walking around, do we? 2 weeks ago, Hurricane Ian came to Daytona, and nobody built the boat and collected 2 of each animal. Is it possible that we all sent God the voicemail claiming we had no signal? We only follow 50% of the commandments. We don't kill, but we hate on our neighbor. We don't steal, but we cheat on our wife. When did the 10 commandments become the 10 suggestions? In fact, I'm suggesting, close the good book for a second. Pop quiz. Are you doing right because it's right, or are you doing it for the sake of making it to heaven? Where's your heart? Oh Lord, you purposely made me imperfect. So is sin really sin, or a simple gesture used as a constant reminder that I'm not you, because I've walked through the valley of the shadow of death with a pocket full of mustard seeds, knowing that no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and I can do and say all things through Christ who strengthens me. So if you don't agree, offended, or couldn't find yourself in this piece, then pick up your Bibles and cast the first stone.
Every night when my daughter was 3 years old, she would walk into my room at 10 p.m. and yell, "Me want juice." And I didn't argue with her. I just gave her the juice. Now before y'all say I have a spoiled rotten and I wrap around her fingers and I don't know how to say no to her, let me explain. See, despite the odds of her getting the bed being raised up over 65% after she drinks the juice, I don't care. I stopped trying to do the math on that years ago. July 27, 2017, she was born at 22 weeks, 4 pounds, 1 ounce with a 17 chance of survival. See, the doctors did the math on that. She could literally fit in the palm of my hand. I remember thinking to myself that heaven isn't quite so heavy after all. That if God created the earth in 7 days, and surely 22 weeks is more than enough, my baby girl was so underdeveloped and underlight her brain was visible through her skull. Every 8 minutes she'd forget to breathe. See, I did the math on that. That's 168 times an hour. Imagine being born before your will to survive is ever an instance. Every 480 seconds, she held life in her lungs. Unsure if this world was worthy of her magic, this is how an incubator begins to look like a casket. See, the doctors did the math on it. Said there was a 75% chance that she would make it through the night, but she did. A 40% chance that she would make it through the week, and she did. A 35% chance that she would make it through the month, and she did. 5 months in that NICU. I was 100% sure that my baby girl had a miracle up her sleeve. See, my hope and prayers did the math on that. I remember the sight of the wires and injections, the beepings, the prayers, the cryings, the prayers, the prayers, the prayers, the prayers from mama, prayers from granny, from sister, from cousin, from auntie, performing some kind of black girl magic transfusion 137 days. Each day a Hail Mary from here to heaven. Y'all should have seen the way God Odell Beckham my prayers. In her first 24 hours on this earth, she showed me that a mathematician cannot calculate a miracle. That survival is not about your will to live, but rather refusing to die. So at 10 p.m., when my daughter walked into my room, clapped her hands and yelled, "Me more juice." I didn't argue with her. I just gave her the fucking juice. She'll be all right. She'll prove me wrong today. I don't need to do the math on that. The 10 stages of grieving the loss of your firstborn son. Stage 1 is denial. Waking up in the morning, making myself a cup of coffee, then pouring him a bowl of cereal. It's not until the Fruity Pebbles are completely soggy that I realized that he wasn't going to come stampeding down those stairs to devour his breakfast, drink from the bowl just to flaunt a beautiful milk mustache. I'm walking into his room to dress him for daycare just to stand there in the doorway trying to grasp the reality of the emptiness. Stage 2, isolation. Don't call, don't text. No noise, no reminder that the world is still out there evolving, even though my son was snatched from the sky. See, people have a tendency to try to pretend to understand your pain. But you don't know my struggle. A million of your tears wouldn't form a river big enough to wash away my pain, my sorrow, my anger. Stage 3, anger, followed by more anger, a volcano beating inside of my chest. God, what were you? I wait for you patiently in the waiting room for you to walk through those doors and miracles bulging, pouring out of your pockets. You let me down. Have you ever been so angry that you wanted to strangle God? Make him choke on his glory in mysterious ways. How is this a part of your plan? Answer me, answer me, answer me, please. Please, stage 4, bargaining, begging, pleading, if only. If only I had a time machine. If only I asked more questions, been on the resume, close attention to the signs. Clearly this wasn't it, so tell me. What wing of which butterfly do I break to prevent the grip that caused this effect? I guess a mess is what I needed. Broken, truck high, defeated, I surrendered to stage 5. Depression. Those sounds a lot like suffering, hiding the hurt, hiding the pain, hiding the tears, saying I'm okay when I'm anything but always on a roller coaster, never much consistency. I was nothing, if not up or down, nothing if just me. Suicide's voice became a silver thread to wrap around my head for burrowing inside my brain with its ideas. Death never sounded so beautiful. Shiny razors bound to cut my sorrows into shreds. Tell me, what risk do I slice for bad blood to be bled? At least I'd see him again. He loved me. He loved me the way I didn't know how to love him. I guess I was undeserving of his joy. Stage 6, scratching my head about stage 7. Stage 7 is stage 8 really necessary? Stage 8, preparing myself for stage 9. Stage 9 is forgiveness. I forgive you. I forgive me. Understanding that to forgive does not mean to forget, but rather remembering never to stand emotionally stagnant inside the wet cement of what breaks you. You might get stuck that way. Stage 10, y'all. Stage 10, they say, is forgiveness. And acceptance. I guess acceptance looks like 10 years later, all these beautiful children, the boy is still there, it's just different now. I guess losing him gave me a fear of loss, making me a better father now than I was then. No acceptance. This understanding that I don't have the power to change the past. No acceptance. Is this poem being recited on this stage, ready to be judged by the masses? No acceptance, y'all. It's something I'm yet to grasp, so forgive me. I find myself still stuck back on stage 1.
Same ones that say that we need to move forward by looking past slavery days, they say remember the Holocaust. Now, the Holocaust gets museums and survivors get reparations while evidence of art invasion lies in museums awaiting carbon dating for measure of historical value. And a value artistically is priceless. Ironically goes to define this notion of reparation, you see. No price has been set, so no debt can be repaid. And for America to look back and recognize its old dark past is a no-no. So much so that 40 acres and a mule is now no more than Spike Lee's company logo. And I know that we're no longer slaves, but why is Confederate flag still allowed to wave deep in the heart of Dixie? Then my history teachers tricked me. I thought the loser's flag was taken down, never to rise again. But we got these rebel flags repping on t-shirts, hats, and even on TVs to be the same ones we see in pictures taking the Klan rallies. So maybe the Civil War wasn't one. Maybe secretly there was a ceasefire to keep Confederate farm money deep within the pockets of the Union. Money that, a matter of fact, came off our backs, but they consider that a Holocaust. Now, Holocaust survivors, they weren't MacGyvers. They didn't make their reparations just appear. They solved the mystery of history and can tell where they were during those years, but broken off of our past, it's clear that we can't do the same, and it's a shame. Imagine through localizing origins, we can stake a claim to the untold riches taken out of Africa by donkey, horse, boat, or plane, but we don't even know our own names. They broke the African tongue of the young and told us that we were American and taught us English, but never defined reparation, like to attempt to was just a Holocaust. So now in any ghetto USA, in any corner you can find, our brother knee deep in the grind, pushing them down, hoping to find enough money to go out and be confident shines. Dollars for diamonds originating in African minds, following the images of athletes and stars for years. We're putting bling bling in their ears, bracelets, chains, ring watches, now even their teeth. Spending millions, maybe billions to buy just a little piece of Africa. Imagine if we unified, we can get together and buy ourselves a piece of Africa. So maybe we don't yet deserve reparation. Not until we're willing to repair our nation and no longer allow our citizens to be arrested by police without proper provocation. Learn to leave the slang at home and at work and be able to carry on a professional conversation. Forget about simple sex. Let's get a grip and learn to ride the ships of relations, and maybe then we can worry about reparations and hopefully it will pay the Holocaust.
Join the stampede of humans who hungered for a chance to reach home, a seasoned survivor. We moved. Like this were a familiar taste. The dish our eyes devoured daily and my heart so heavy from digesting. That stampede was just an appetizer to a massacre that never came, but got delivered in 29 schools this year. Made our babies the main ingredients, and I know this sounds like a recipe for destruction.
Sometimes I have to borrow my family stories to remind myself how strong I am. Of all the bombs my blood has swallowed without dying. How my blood journeyed across kitchen towels as my grandmother fist fought every lover she had and lost. How it smeared the walls and kissed the knuckles. How those same knuckles secretly sought solace beneath my mother's garments. I hear of towels being turned into torture instruments and imagine my grandma's abusive boyfriend. The sweaty palms, waterboarding my mother's adolescent flesh, and wonder if God stitched his hands with cleaner intentions too. I know PTSD afflicts veterans, but what happens to the adult whose childhood was a battlefield, whose guardian was their enemy? In 2018, a bomb from World War II was found near a subway in Berlin. The city claimed that there may still be 3,000 bombs scattered across the Germany capital, and like Berlin, my mom still has remnants of an old war buried beneath her skin. Can't trust no man that hugs too tight triggers, acts too nice trigger, ain't no play fights trigger, flashback, bomb. I couldn't even play with plastic guns when I was young. Triggers are the unkept threats that did not die, even after the man that gave them did. He forced her silence by gunpoint, trigger to temper temple, and she's still told. Grandma teaches the whole family how holy the temple is. Grandma is the realest soldier I know. So, in lieu of any tenant within her heart, turned her children into no man's land and ran. 2 magical generations later, my family still stands like an army. Fight one Rustin, you gotta fight us all. Even when we're in different states, my fist-sized heart still beats with their strength. What happens to the adult whose childhood was a battlefield? She becomes a hero for surviving. If to no one else but her son, my mom is the only person in my family that joined the military, Navy, public health service. Her heart is still a subway. She's a trained nurse, transporting her patients to well-being, and I'm a performer, because if a gun couldn't keep her silent, the fuck you think gonna silence her son? I know bard to be another word for poet. So what else should I do when I feel bombarded? If not, retell these stories. Exhale all the bombs my blood has swallowed without dying. Inhale everything it took for my family to live. To carry this beautiful blood all the way down to me now. I don't care what it is. I know I can because my family did. And having genes that survived in hell makes my existing on earth seem so much easier.
So between my blackness, navigating the good old boy system, and bosses with bullshit on their breath, y'all, I am going crazy in corporate America. Why stay, you ask? Well, because I got bills, babies, and a baby with a big ass budget. So I keep corporate America close. We frenemies. I honestly prefer rush hour traffic to office politics. I have to have a personal pep talk with myself when I get to the office, and when I do finally walk in, sans dams, okay? I stroll right past my manager's desk like he ain't got eyes to see and a clock to watch, but he won't say nothing because he smells like gas station hot dog water for something strange. I sit right next to Lazy Susan, who stayed rotating her work off on to me. No, you cannot have these nuts, I said, as you proceed to reach your COVID-coated hand into my bag regardless, while mistaking me for the only other 2 black guys working here. And the craziest thing is my CEO is a black man, but this bastard might not acknowledge me on the elevator. This bastard fired the only other 2 black guys working here. So I'm farting in this bastard's office chair today. Stop giving me man. Legend has it that Arminta Johnson was born beneath a card table called Memphis, while her mama read Boston on her neighbors. Vince stayed making board for her kids at a minimum. Now understand, my grandmama was not necessarily dealt the best hand. Made a matriarch at 16. Moved from Memphis to Chicago, a city built on black culture and black bodies. But in order to relieve the tension of the in-city blues, we learned to play a card game that we affectionately refer to as spades. Now for those of you who are not black, understand that black women don't play no games except for spades. All right, they can get cut low, you get cussed out, and do not renege. But when I tell you, I love playing spades with my grandmama because my grandmama learned the tricks of the trade. Married my granddaddy who had skin black as the ace of spades, and together they raised 4 queens and 2 kings. You see, my grandmama was good with 4 and 2 possibles. She could count cards. This one hand, we was down like 100 points. What you got, grandmama? I watched my grandmother peer through her glasses and the cataracts into the cards, and then to me. She called tight casual. Like she just used to making miracles. Like every day was a gamble. And ain't that the power of the grandmother to underestimate and over-deliver, to flip a family out the negative and being blind the whole time? My grandmama made spades fall out the sky, hit the table like thunder. They say my grandmama could tell what you had in your hand by how she held it. She could tell when all her kids and her grands was lying. My grandmama would put my behind with no belt, one smile, and both jokers. My grandmama would leave my ego bruised and my behind bruised, and my lesson learned and love. And listen here, boy, don't you go out there acting a fool. And even when I went out there and acted a fool, my grandmama stayed underbeaten on her hand and overbeaten on me, y'all. The last time I saw my grandmama alive was at a card table. And I do not know why she couldn't recognize me. I do not know if it was because of the dementia deteriorating her memories, or the cataracts causing her to be blind. But what was familiar was the thin spent paper. The endless shuffle, how she read them like tarot, and dragging her kids across the card table ain't required no kind of sight, but only a queen's intuition. And I know my grandmama now, sitting at a card table across from God, where the snakes is higher than heaven, taking shots of ambrosia and letting the wings clean off angel bags. I know that we cannot play to infinity. Grandma, you got all your books ready. Let's go. I gotta see it. Read the coast.
The rain is here. Clear skies done left. Open carry season gonna cost us 1 million deaths. That's why I'm still tucked by the breath. Oh, they say I got a hollow tip, unchecked. To y'all, we been glocks, but we really been blocks. Oh, we been building out here, baby. We are the tools of the trade. You see 120-degree POV. I focus only on what's right in front of me, get tunnel vision, or get dead up in here. Replace every moment they told you with, hey, look at me. Ain't nothing like a staring contest with death, is there? Oh, my name Glock, but you can call me Nah, Burner, Peacemaker. I spit hot fire. My throat is the runway to a missile. You better ask somebody. You better ask the last brother whose body I holy ghosted. Let his soul out his pores. Because when a tip goes up in the summertime shy, we come out like some fireflies. And then the fireflies. I lick shots for a living, you see. In my season, I average 70 shots a weekend. That's better numbers than Jordan. But I be loaded with the hope that somebody will listen to me speak my mind, because my eyes stay on the pan to set the weight of the Glock to be more than the heat. Metronome to the streets, people live to the beat, not just packing the heat. Another gap in the streets, they call me son of a gun. I click clack when I speak. Spike Lee had me all wrong and Spike right, baby. Yep. That's satire. That's Irish. Crack, rock the block, lock the school. Cops in Hollywood call us ponies. Mom and pops yell, stop! Shots rock, sun at the moon too soon. My son said too soon. He didn't see noon. Bullets filled his soul. And I can't help but think, damn, maybe I could have jammed. You see what we do in the wrong hands? And I am called soulless instrument, death tool. But I am a totem, a boy's finger noose around my trigger. I'm not the heart of the problem. I'm a means to an end. To hit the heart of the problem, you hit the heart of the man. I just need a shot to pop the locks and set free our spirits. Here, the spirits ride bullets. The bullets ride the wind. Stand still too long and it's gonna blow you. I keep my head cocked to the sky. I bust a hollow plate prayer, because we've been out here. Clear sky still ain't left. Open carry season done cost us 1 million deaths. But until the day that my screams ain't mistook for gunshots, I wonder if I'll ever know how it feels to be more than cold. Still.
Whenever I get this feeling, sorry, I can't stand spiders. It's pretty threatening. It's like they're trying to kick us out after all we've done for this country. Environment, sorry. But I guess you can do that when you own everything. You call me aggressive, call me threat, call me dangerous, but 7 legs out of 8 when we bite, it's a bite back. We're retaliating over something you started a long time ago. You say we are all dangerous, but you haven't met all of us, and you can't believe everything you see on the web. I can't help this genetic makeup, this big body, America's swearing you a threat. Some girl without their daddy long legs, how do we lose it? They make all women black widows and our Mike Browns inclusive. The cobwebs in our justice system show you there hasn't been a lot of progress lately, because it's like every time we start to move, it's back to y'all shouldn't be really messy sometimes. Luckily, I was always taught to clean up after myself. Dove, you better get these dishes out my sink before I get back. Boy, if you don't get your underwear out of the middle of this floor, I'm gonna smack. Nah, more importantly, I was always taught to leave a place better than I found it. But I'm like, no, why do I have to clean this up? I didn't do it. Please tell me if they make a mess, I have to clean it up. Their dirt, their dishes, their floor. Why do I have to clean up behind somebody else? She said,
said, don't you live here too? I said, yes, ma'am. But I feel like it's not my fault. I shouldn't have to. She said, it doesn't have to be your fault now. It's your responsibility. Even if you didn't do it, you have to leave this place better than you found it. Don't you live here too? And y'all, the older I got, the more I realized she wasn't just talking about places. She was talking about people. Leaving people better than you found them. One day, you might walk into a room full of broken people. Even though you did not break them, you might have to fix somebody. More often than not, you'll have to sanitize a man's view on how to respect a woman or push from a father back into his kid's life for some days. It gets so exhausting cleaning up behind other people. You get tired of the Clorox on your palm and you just want to say, I didn't do it. He broke her heart. Why do I have to fix it? It's not my fault. Well, it might not be your fault. Now it's your responsibility to leave this world better than you found it. Now we may never end up being perfectly spotless, but we can still ask ourselves, did we leave someone else better than we found them? With a smile, with a laugh, some good thought, something, because they're not declare this poem a spring cleaning, like I want to be spit shine for your shoe. No, that's weird. I want to be pond sol for your soul. Like, I want to be what happens when Captain Planet gives Mr. Clean a pep talk, and some days my inner janitor might not want to show up to work, and I need you to help clean me up a bit. Mop the tears from my eyes, recycling, so they can rinse away the negative thoughts from my mind, so throw my past mistakes, and you imagine going the extra mile to prove someone's life you may never see again. And isn't that what life is about? Make sure next generation is greater than the one that's right now. There's a saying that goes, you're only sitting in shade today because someone else planted a tree a long time ago. And when are we going to stop leaving messes and start leaving seeds? We let us only back off anyway because we convince ourselves someone else is going to clean up after us. And what if they don't? What if they think just like her, or him, or me, or you? Or we keep leaving this world a mess like we are expecting a maid. We are the housekeeping. You need to realize you only have one wrong. If you leave your mark on it and it never comes off, did you leave this place better than you found? Just a bigger mess for somebody else to clean up. Y'all, I am not the cleanest, and you don't have to be, but if you see a chance to clean up this world, take it. Doesn't have to be your fault. Now it's your responsibility. Even if you didn't do it, you have to leave this place better than you found it. Because after all, don't you live here too?
Hey, Florida. For this last round, I just want to remind you guys of something. They say when life gives you lemons, you're supposed to somehow make lemonade, right? Well, I feel like whoever made that up was not being simply honest. No, okay. They're from a different country, Ty. That was strange. Had to have one of them just had water kind of lives, you know? Where everything is basically already done for you. Like, you never had to make a glass of triumph or overcome from scratch your entire life because something just don't taste right about you. What are your ingredients, you know? Like testimony, journey. How'd you make a fortune out of your misfortune? Because of course, everybody saw you on the mountaintop, but nobody saw you climb it, you know? Y'all talk about that Tropicana, but y'all never want to talk recipe. And so now I have a better taste in my mouth because life never silver spoon-fed me the answers. Didn't even leave me a measure up to see just how much more I can take, no. When life hands you lemons, turns its back on you, then there's a lemonade stand by tomorrow, and wonder why your face be so sour. It's probably because life expects for you to throw a gallon of good fun out of yourself when your real one didn't give 2 teaspoons about you. Life expects a couple millionaire mindset when you've been told to sit for mentality, you're all right. Life be like, why was you a teacher? When your role models were all dropouts, like when John Hancock wrote eviction notice, striking paraplegic, and then you chase your dreams boldly, be the bearer of bad news, while up the sugar from your joy, and never give it back. Your life will wake you up and snap you, just to eliminate any dreams that you got. So I don't know how. I'm supposed to make lemonade out of lemons. I can only suggest 1 gram of faith, 2 pints of everything I had to overcome just to get here. A ton of I wish you would tell me what I can't do. 1 pinch of perseverance without the preservatives, 2 tablespoons of he ain't got nothing, 3 cups of don't ain't nothing splendor about me. Took a long time to get this batch just right now. It's worth every rotation, because you can't run my pedestals. My journey can be mixed in 60 seconds. I'm so much more than 40-minute day. No, when life gives you limits, you tell life you better bring your whole orchard. Because the sweetest thing about obstacles, y'all, the sweetest thing, the squeezing every lemon into a glass, a miracle, and leave the world back.
Have you ever seen a ghost cry for help? I've died a million times, been reincarnated into so many broken things. This time, I came back as a poet, and I find it ironic to inhabit a body that has made art out of Lazarus. It's a miracle every time I survive my own performance. In a past life, I was a surgeon, fascinated by the hemorrhage, the clot, and the opening. Called it a traumatic injury, but in this body, I pronounce it as a poem. When I begin writing pain so intimate that when I close my eyes, it's my hands on the mouth. There's power in saying what happens to his body will no longer stay to his body, but what's so brave about digging up what almost killed you and giving it a second chance. Poets are competitive spirits, and the afterlife is made of their best highlight reels. They say, go in, remember why you wrote it, and I revisit my tombstone like I'm told to. I built a community out of a graveyard, settled into my story like I have nowhere else to go. I hang up these same bones in the same closet every night, and they hold me like a casket. Promises me this hurt is not going anywhere. Battling mental health feels like a gunfight, and I keep bringing the wrong piece. There's a problem if I need coping mechanisms for my coping mechanisms. I mean, ask yourself, if this body falls and everyone's around to hear it, how long till the applause stops? Who is to blame? Ghosts are invisible, and on stage is the only dimension I feel seen. Only time I deal with these memories is when I'm imploding, when I'm a breaking thing. I thought I was creative enough to save myself. Carving up this much honesty was the work, but poetry is not therapy. It's an exorcism, summoning trauma by its name, telling this body it's a temple that is temporarily holy and hollering, but name one thing a poem has done that a haunting hasn't. And you know ghosts, and I know death. I've died a million times still. All everyone can hear about is the resurrection. There are 1,000 words for survival, but none for life after. How do I remind this body that it's worthy? If I keep dragging it back to the sunken place, will I ever be able to rest in peace? If I never look at it. Corner stores be the brightest beacon at midnight. Streetlights calling the kids at midnight. The kitchen is closed at midnight. Somewhere got the gas prices rising at midnight, so you gotta clock in for third shift at midnight. Be careful at midnight. I'm getting that talk at midnight. Same talk about only got hurt only at midnight. Don't reach for your wallet at midnight. Just come home alive at midnight. Not much has changed at midnight. The news ain't been news since I've been on at midnight. Hell, I must have forgot at midnight. Skittles in Arizona mean something at midnight. We all look like midnight at midnight, but it's on her home at midnight. She was in bed at midnight. She dreamed of tomorrow at midnight. Didn't know tomorrow was just a dream at midnight. They didn't knock at midnight. Forced entry at midnight. They just knew there were 25 guys on her door at midnight. Gotta get paid at midnight. Skin get you killed at midnight. Bullets always nameless at midnight. As long as you fit the description at midnight. Act now, justify later at midnight. Shots meant for a drug dealer at midnight. Like, that nigga better at midnight. No judge or jury at midnight. This ain't bait on sight at midnight. My name is still my name, but hers is a riot at midnight. Louisville or Burning Plantation at midnight. I've seen clouds bleed and streets cry at midnight. You know, tear gas at midnight. All we got is bars and hooks anyway at midnight. Ask rappers what they think at midnight. We all know names in the cold world regardless at midnight. She got her own billboard at midnight. Vanity cover makes it fair at midnight. There goes a Hulu special at midnight. All these breathless condolences at midnight. I still can't breathe at midnight. Whole country marching, but nothing moving at midnight. I see nights turn to day at midnight. So keep talking about change at midnight. How they murder so peaceful at midnight. And the rest, in their bones, in their beds at midnight. I can't sleep at I can only speak with the perspective I've been cursed with at midnight. So how do you think I feel about slavery at midnight? Red, white, and blue at midnight. Obama was not enough at midnight. Don't you get tired? That poem at midnight. All the evidence is everywhere. At midnight, everything happened at midnight. Nothing. Morning after.
My baby don't mess around, 'cause he loves me so, and this I know for sure. But does he really wanna, but can't stand to see me walk out the door? I am a hope romantic. By the age of 8, I already planned my wedding, picked out the colors, the kind of dress, even the flowers. I've always been clumsy, so I figured falling for someone would be easy. And that's the hard part, right? Finding someone. I just knew time would be on my Mr. Right, but in the meantime, 8-year-old me fantasized about a boy whose last name would taste like wedding cake. I mean, how can I not love? I come from people who can fly. My mother, a dandelion. On the first date, my father was a breath. On the second, he blew her away. But the third, he gave her a ring. Years later, they started planting seeds. Thank God for mom and dad sticking two together, 'cause we don't know how. We still don't. The thing they don't tell you about planting is how to keep the flowers alive. Instead, I've seen moth-fist blooms and roses, watched as they painted gardens on each other's bodies. Love so hard. It hurt. And they call this a marriage. Every fight smelled my future. I grew up in a house of cages. What happens at home stays at home. Even when you have the scars to show it. And they call this working money. We were conditioned to safety pin our skin into smiles in public. And we call that normal. If the silence is golden, then the lining has to be silver. I remember being called a beautiful family once. And us laughing in a happy household. All of my kin are fluent in eggshells. It sounds like our favorite song with the saddest lyrics. If what they say is nothing is forever, then what makes love exception? Not dead enough to be reason to keep a connection alive. Paranormal activity live in all the spaces between my family members. We don't even question the inhumane anymore. Love has been a haunted house in my family. We fix plates before problems, then get divorced over the dirty dishes. Looking down at the genetics in my hands give me a sinking feeling, yet somehow I'm still a hopeful romantic. Thank God the parents teach you what love is not supposed to look like. I promised myself I would never be like them, that I would fall far from the family tree, but now I'm stuck between watching a rock and a hard place. I've yet to learn how to become a part of something I've never seen before. All I know is scattered petals and metal bars. All I am is softness and backbone, but I know I'm deserving of growth. I could fly if I wanted to. I'd rather be held and grounded in all the right ways, and if all else fails, I'd rather be alone and see myself be loved today.
5th through 12th place will be receiving $125 each. Let's clap it up for them. In 4th place, we have Javon. They didn't give it to me. I'm just going to do the names, we'll do the scores afterwards, all right? In 3rd place, please put your hands together, receiving $500 for T. Otis. T. Otis, That's what it is, right? That's how fancy, right? That's like runner out, like instead of second place. Anyway. In 2nd place, receiving $1,000. Please put your hands together for Dove. And there's no surprise then at this point. All the way from Charlotte, North Carolina. Put your hands together for our winner of BlackBerry Peach National Party Slam. Receive your flowers. Are we gonna bring all the poets back up to the stage? Yeah, bring the poets. All right, everybody, all the poets, if you hear me in the back, we'll take a little group picture or whatever. Thank you all so much for your support. With that, an audience, poets don't have anybody to speak to, so I appreciate y'all very much. Once again, my name is Sean. Welcome. We'll chat and everything like that. Let's clap it up for our scorekeepers, our timekeeper, all the organizers. Joe Kavanaugh over here. Come up with Joe. Joe, making things happen around this space. Have a good night. God bless.
I want you all to express your emotions. That's why you're here. You don't like the judges, let them know. First judge with the red hat on is Phil Peach. Phil Peach came all the way from Texas, and for those of you who have been following the BlackBerry Peach, Phil Peach is the peach.